What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your man ChazzEllis once again. And a lot of people have hit me up and asked me how they could be unbothered like Omarion. I'm trying to be unbothered. I got my girl in my life. I got my dude in my life and he did this or my ex did that. How do I become unbothered like Omarion? I don't want things to bother me. I want to just sit up here, sip tea and chill out and not get bothered by all these things that's going on. How do I be like Omarion? Now, for some of y'all that don't know what happened, Omarion is a singer that was in the group B2K. He was the lead singer. Fast forward several years later, he gets with this girl named April. They have 2 kids together. They get on Love and Hip Hop. They end up breaking up. Then one of his bandmates, Fizz, gets with the girl. They start making posts and stuff like that. Kind of slick dissing Omarion in some ways and also just showing out doing the most. People got surprised because Omarion didn't really negatively respond. He seemed to be classy and above it all, even saying, hey, that's them, let them do what they do. So people wanted to know, how do you become so unbothered? There's actually a hashtag unbothered. People talk about it all the time. Omarion, unbothered. How do you become unbothered by these situations? Well, there's actually a formula to being unbothered by anything, but especially when you're talking about dealing with people who do things that are designed to bother you. And I'll show you what it is. Number 1, no ownership. A lot of the anger that you feel towards an ex getting with a friend, or towards somebody trying to make you jealous, or towards somebody trying to use things, it could be promotions, it could be things that they kind of take or things that they have, using things to try to make you feel some type of way. Most of this comes from you feeling like somebody took something from you that belongs to you. But the reality is, if they could take it, it was never really yours. The feeling of ownership can make you feel like you got to get back at somebody, or you got to fight somebody, or you got to argue. This is why you see people talking about, don't have her around my kids, or you better not have that dude around my kids, because it's a feeling of ownership. Like you can own people or own things that are outside of your grasp. And the reality is you really can't. The only thing you can really own in this world is yourself, because everything else can be taken away. So when things do move locations from one person to another, you start feeling like you've been robbed or you've been taken advantage of. And this causes the anger feeling, which makes you often lash out and start looking ridiculous and crazy because you're trying to get back something, or you're trying to get control over something that you never owned in the first place. So when you take away that feeling of ownership and realize that everybody has freedom of choice and that things flow from one person to another, you'll feel a lot better. And now you can be unbothered and not worry about all of the things that are happening around you. Number 2, abundance. We often feel bad about things when we feel a sense of scarcity. The reality is, I don't think Omarion feels like April is that scarce, or somebody just like April is that scarce. I mean, how hard is it to find a girl that you can deal with for a little while and then she'll go deal with one of your homies? Or how hard is it to find a dude that you can deal with for a little while and then he's dealing with the crew? How hard is that really to find? So what people want you to do is they want you to act as if something is more scarce than it really is. This is the pressure that you often get from other people. Man, you gonna let your baby mama do that with your best friend? Is he really my best friend? Okay, this is my baby mama, but so? I mean, there's a lot of people in the world who can have kids. I know people want you to put everybody on a pedestal. This might be my baby daddy, but okay, he might be somebody else's baby daddy next week. What do I know? I don't know. I can't really calculate what this person's going to do. And there's other people out there in the world. If I go crazy and bust this dude's head to the white meat, now I'm in jail. Baby mama's still going to be out here smashing other dudes. But the only difference is now I'm in jail. So I can't get another girl. I got to try to fight some dudes off of me so I don't end up being a girl. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm messing my whole life up and my situation up to deal with them when there's other people out there. This is the same thing with anything. If you got a job situation, a business situation, customers, clients. A lot of times you might be fighting over stuff that's really not scarce. There is an abundance, and you have to have an abundance mentality. When you start thinking, yo, there's more out there, there's more going on in this world, so I don't have to focus on this one thing and make my life about this one thing. When you start thinking about that, when you start thinking in terms of abundance, I don't care if she has kids with you, I don't care if he has kids with you, I don't care what the situation is, you always got to think in terms of abundance. Because if you don't, you end up doing something stupid, and once you get in jail or once you've ruined your life, you start realizing that you had way more opportunities to replace what you lost, and now you don't. Number 3, plan. When you start planning, you stop thinking about what somebody else is doing. The reason why Omarion is so unbothered is because he concentrated on what he can do. He's concentrated on that Millennium Tour that he's about to make money off of, while Lil Fizz is going to be at home trying to take pictures with April and put them on Instagram. He knows that he's got a life ahead of him that's way better than what these people have without him. I'm just keeping it real. I'm not saying that to down anybody. I'm not saying that to clown Lil Fizz for his career or lack thereof. I'm just saying the facts are the facts. At the end of the day, Omarion knows he has way more ahead of him than he does behind him. And Lil Fizz and April really have nothing to do with that success. All jokes aside, all funny aside, in life, when you concentrate on what you can do, you're not going to be thinking about what somebody else can do. You're not going to be thinking about what somebody else has going on in their life. You're going to be thinking about you and your accomplishments and what you're going to do next. If you concentrate on that, then you're going to be unbothered also because you're worried about something else. You're generally going to struggle to focus on 2 things at once. So if you're focusing on your future and your success going forward, it's going to be very, very difficult to really worry about your past. Why? Because you know you're going to flex on them anyway. Omarion already knew he was going to do that Millennium Tour. He was going to ball out. He was going to be on interviews, saying what he had to say. And he's flexing on them anyway without having to say anything, without having to be negative, without having to talk about them, without having to make it about them at all. The reality is he was planning, so he doesn't need to think about them. He doesn't need to say some little petty thing and get a little Pyrrhic victory because he's already flexing by doing his tour, making his money, making his life better, while these people got to sit around and think about Omarion and what he's got going on. And you could do the same thing. Work your plan, and that's going to take care of a whole lot of that other crap. Once again, it's your man, ChazzEllis. Make sure you like and subscribe. Also, if you need some extra help, get a consultation. And I also do profile reviews to help you see what you're doing right and what you also may be doing wrong so that you can create a great situation and get what you want ultimately. It's your man, ChazzEllis. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video with somebody else. Peace.